Okay, here we are back in Flight Sim 2020. And this time we're at a Norwegian glider field recommended to me by Poolhallshark on my channel. Really nice fella. He enjoyed one of my videos, which was very kind of him to say, and I hardly bribed him at all. And I asked him if there were any particularly spectacularly scenic glider fields that he knew of in Norway. So, well, this is not. Okay, I wonder why those rudder pedals are twitching. I'm just now they're moving because I'm all right. Anyway, oh, I just signaled the tow pilot to take off. Anyway, here we are at ENLU in Norway, and I'm just trying to stay. Let's get off the ground here and stay behind the tow plane. Here we are. This will be good. A little bit high, but not bad. Sneak in behind him again, try and not hit the ground. Geez, I'm yanking the poor guy's tail all over the place. It'd be much worse if I wasn't in this training glider, if I was in the LS8 or something. Oh, I'm afraid that tow plane's going to hit trees. I think we're okay. Oh. Taking off over a town like this is bloody terrifying. I'm laughing, but in real life I'd be, oh my God, don't let the tow line break. And it looks amazing. I wish I could take my eye off the tow plane and have a look at it. That's, it might be easier to fly if I had the air brakes in too, and the speed brake. And oh my God, I had the spoilers out. Spoilers on the top, air brake on the bottom. Well, no wonder it was hard to get in the air. If that tow plane pilot could, he'd be giving me the finger right now. Can't say that I blame him. In my defense, I was trying to figure out what was making my rudder pedals twitch. and I forgot that when you kick the rudder pedals, it tells the tow plane to start rolling. In real life, you just kind of give a thumbs up and you say all out, all out. Of course, customs vary, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to comment much on serious things in this video. I just want this to be a very relaxing, scenic flight in beautiful Norway. I wish I could afford to live by a fjord. I would like to visit over there someday and see my grandparents' home country, Finland. Actually, that's only true of my grandmother. My grandfather was an American of Finnish descent. And my mother's family came from Wales and Ireland. So I would love to go to Europe and see Norway and Denmark and Finland and go for a ride in a glider. That would be really marvelous. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go forward. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait till I'm off tow. I feel like I'm too far back in the cockpit. I feel like I'm almost sitting in the instructor's seat here. Oh, look at the mountains in the distance. I just love the way the scenery changes color, and as it gets to the horizon, you see the mountains turning blue in the distance. This is really beautiful. Thank you, Poolhallshark, for suggesting this. Oh, I'm looking around at the scenery, so this is a really, really sloppy job of flying the arrow tow that I'm doing. But you know what? It's just so pretty, and it looks so good in the crystal. Fortunately, the consequences of a mistake in VR are, are not very high compared to the consequences of a mistake in real life in a glider on arrow tow over a whole bunch of water and trees. But it just looks amazing. If we were in Fernando's hideaway on Saturday Night Live, I'd say, "You look marvelous." Okay, off the tow. Glider Tug wants me off the tow, so let's start touring. Oh my goodness. I think a glider is absolutely the best way to see the beauty of the landscape when you're flying in Flight Sim 2020. Because you fly nice and slow. I'm just going to take a second to get myself into a happier place in the cockpit. Oh, that feels better. Gosh. You can see some minor distortions in the canopy. And no, those aren't lens distortions, regardless of what you may have read on some reviewer's channel. Just goes to show you can't necessarily believe every reviewer. If you've got your headset in the right spot and you're looking in the sweet spot, then there really isn't very much in the way of distortion at all anywhere in the field of view. But if you're outside the sweet spot, let me just move my headset a bit. If I move the headset a little bit, we start to get chromic aberration, and yeah, you get some distortion. This way, that way. But you know what? I can make any headset look bad that way. If you're looking through the sweet spot in the Pimax Crystal, you've got 85 to 95%, even with the plastic lens that I've got, the plastic lenses, you got 95% clarity. And if reviewers tell you something different, well, what can I tell you? People can be wrong. God knows I've been wrong. I'm not wrong about this, though. Oh, gosh. Now I really want to go to Norway. This is absolutely the best thing about VR and flying in Flight Sim 2020. You just have this wonderful sense in the crystal of being there. Now, if they can give me 20 degrees more field of view on the horizontal, then this would be absolutely ideal. That's really my only kick on this headset, is I come from the 8KX, and I would like a little wider field of view. I got spoiled. I went from an Oculus Rift to the 8KX, and I liked my Oculus Rift, but when I got into the 8KX, got it working, which wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done, certainly a lot harder than the Pimax Crystal, I was just astonished. VR just blew me away. And now the Crystal has taken it to another level. And I keep thinking to myself, good Lord, what's next? A headset the size of the, was it the Big Sky Beyond that they're writing about now? That looks like a really good headset. Field of view is a little small for me, but Sebastian at MRTV really likes it, especially for night stuff. And for, well, I'm not sure what else, but I watched him playing it in the kayak game Mirage. Looked spectacular at night. And I think, the Somnium, when it comes out, it'll be worth looking at. The new Quest 3, that could be really good. Guys, just enjoy this period. We're at the Model A level of development. if we were in the automobile business, I'd say we're at the Model A level of VR development. It's only going to get better, and it's going to get better faster, and it's going to get cheaper, and the headsets are going to get smaller and lighter, and the displays are going to get better and better. Oh my gosh. 2 or 3 years from now, we'll be looking at the Pimax Crystal, great as it is, and saying, yeah, it was pretty good, but whew, am I glad I've got this, whatever this is. Call it headset Y. As we get into the next generation of headsets after this. And then, of course, we'll need computers powerful enough to drive all those pixels. So to get much better than this, you'd have to go to 50, 45, 40, 50 pixels per degree. And that would take a fair amount of processing power. But that will come too. This glider is supposed to have a sink rate of, or a glide ratio of about 25, 26 to 1. So for every 25 feet forward, we should descend 1. But I really have this feeling that we're doing better than that. So I don't know, maybe I'm just flying with exceptional skill today. Yeah, this is the first time for everything. I just love the way this looks. Looking off in the distance, everything is still clear. It's clear right almost to the very edge of my vision, on the right side and on the left. I can look up at the yaw string, that's the red little flag off that tube. And I can look down at my feet. I think it's a little blurry at the very bottom edge of my vision. But like I say, we got about 90-95% clarity. And of course, being a typical North American, Canadian, I look at all that green stuff down there and I think, wow, could I make a nice golf course there? I crack myself up. It's a good thing I left labels on, because otherwise I might not be able to tell where the airfield is. A grass airfield looks very much like the grass strips around it. But I find it nerve-wracking to do an aero tour over that town. Mind you, I made it a lot worse by having the spoilers out. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, that was just silly, foolish. I think we've got enough altitude to play with that I can kind of drift over this way and check out the scenery. Can you hear the noise in the headset of the glider behind me? The control wires as I move them. Somebody's done a very nice job of building this KA7. I really like it. It reminds me of the KA7 that I flew in real life. I have about, I don't know, 10 flights in one. We had one at our field when our Blaniks were, when one of our Blaniks was in for repair. And I have to admit, I quite liked it. Not as roomy as the Blanik, but really nice. Really nice. We've got the silver water off to the right. I think as the fjord feeds into inlets. And in the sunlight we can see pristine blue water. And all kinds of trees. Oh, I might be in a little bit of lift here. No, just zero sync. Beautiful little house with a red roof. Looks like there could be a barn down there. I should turn reflections off on the canopy so that you can see the scenery better. But look at the canopy handle, the red handle here, reflecting in the in the canopy. It looks great. Well, that's not a house then. I think that's a barn with the... Is that a barn or a house? Well, I don't know. If it's a house, it's pretty big. Boy, I mean, what a privilege it would be to visit here and get to know some people and maybe take a flight or two. What a privilege. Just like it's a great privilege for me to share this hobby of mine with you and hope that I can entice you into it. I don't really worry about what kind of a headset you use. I don't care whether it's a Pimax or a Vario or a Meta Quest or a Pico or whatever, as long as you get this kind of VR experience. Wow. I think the Crystal has the best visuals of anything I've tried so far. But you know, there's more to VR than that, and there are a lot of really good headsets out there. So I took off without even checking my altimeter setting. So I'm going to play this completely by eye. I would say by ear, but that doesn't make any sense, playing by ear. I think we've got lots of altitude left. So I'm going to just do a turn here. And oh, wow, look at these. Look at that scenery. Now I've got shadow on the left and sunlight through the clouds on the right. And I just dropped my battery, I think, that I'm using to supply auxiliary power to the Pimax. So, oh dear. And I'm getting too old to bend over and pick things up all the time. So I'll put that in my shirt pocket, which I should have start with. And now through the clouds, we see some sunshine breaking. And this lovely, lovely field down here with all these different textures of green. And the colors absolutely pop. I think one reason I set the resolution up today was to see if I could make a 4K video and post it so you'd have a better idea of how great it looks in VR. But I don't know if I set it up properly. I'm not very smart about these things. I'm really not, oh, well, I always say I'm not the sharpest tool in the VR shed. But I certainly do enjoy it. Okay, so let's descend. We'll just join from, this would be a right base, I guess. I'm sorry, I am still getting over that stupid bout I had with pneumonia. It's crazy how you can get sicker and sicker and you don't realize it. It sneaks up on you, and then finally you wake up and you think, holy crap, I better get some medical attention. So I've got spoilers out. Spoiler on the top, air brake on the bottom. Got to get rid of some altitude here. Might as well do it on base. The gliders, you don't fly a square pattern anymore. At least when I stopped flying gliders, they had just started bringing in this notion of a 2 45-degree turns to get from downwind to the landing point, to the final. But I'm just going to try and, if you'll pardon the expression, wing it. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Okay. Let's just keep the spoilers out. Put them in a little bit. Don't want to hit any trees. Okay, I don't want to run out of runway, so we'll go full spoiler. And now that we're close to the ground, we'll ease the spoiler back. Let's just establish a nice descent. And there we are. Now we'll just keep spoilers full back. Let the glider come down. Let the wing down, and here we are. Safely down. This cockpit looks great. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little scenic flight around Norway. And if you have ideas where you'd like to see in VR, where you'd like to see me fly in VR, just leave a comment. I'd love to visit different places and enjoy the scenery with you. And thank you so much for enjoying this little glider ride with me. I hope I didn't ruin it with my constant yammering. Talk, talk, talk. All right. And we'll talk again soon. Thanks for stopping by.